Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys a little bit of a different video today. We're doing our mock draft once again this year. I did it last year, got a couple of the picks right. Actually, I got more picks right than I thought I would. And I wanted to do it again this year because last year I had like Dyson Daniels going to the Pelicans, which I was right about. There was a lot of guys that like I was right on, a lot of guys I was wrong on. Like last year, I think I had Jabari Smith Jr. going number 1 overall. Obviously, that didn't happen. But a lot of my picks last year were at least logical. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was at least logic behind them. Today, I plan to do the same thing. I did it last year. I wanted to do it again this year. Ever since the lottery happened, I've had a few of you guys ask me about doing this. So I thought I would do it again. So let's go ahead and start off. Just so you know, I'm using the ESPN's official consensus for the players for where ESPN ranks these guys and where ESPN thinks they're going to go. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So number 1 overall, I think we all know who's going number 1 overall, and that's Victor Wembanyama to the San Antonio Spurs. The fit is just too perfect for it not to happen. Greg Popovich has already reportedly been on a plane to Paris to go see Victor Wembanyama. They've been following Victor Wembanyama for like 5 or 6 years now. So trust me, they're going to take him. If they don't take him, I'd be absolutely shocked. Number 2 overall is going to be Brandon Miller to the Charlotte Hornets. Listen, man, I know a lot of people are saying that like the Charlotte Hornets should take Scoot Henderson. And I understand that sentiment. I do. But the thing is, Charlotte has so many fucking guards that I don't see why they would take another guard. I just don't. I get that Scoot Henderson is like the second best prospect in this draft, but Brandon Miller fits what they need. Okay, Brandon Miller is a solid player. I've seen comparisons to Jason Tatum, which I don't know how realistic that is, but I've seen Brandon Miller draw comparisons to Jason Tatum. And with the Miles Bridges situation going on, they already have Gordon Hayward on their roster. They have Terry Rozier on their roster, who they can't seem to get off of his contract. And I feel like bringing in Scoot Henderson might actually upset LaMelo Ball, which if you're Charlotte, I don't think you want to do that because LaMelo Ball, I think, has a lot of potential to be really, really good. So I don't like the backcourt fit between Scoot Henderson and LaMelo Ball. I just don't. LaMelo Ball's a great shooter. Scoot Henderson is iffy. I just think they should fill a position they need rather than just take the best player. Because I think taking Brandon Miller at 2 is what they need. And I think Brandon Miller is going to be a solid NBA player. So that's why I think they take him at number 2. At number 3, I know we've heard about Portland trading this pick, but I don't think it's going to happen. Damian Lillard's been putting out trade shit on Twitter for like the past day about, oh, if the fans want to trade me, or, you know, create a petition, and somebody actually did it. And then he said, well, if the fans want to trade me, so be it. So it sounds like Damian Lillard has already mentally checked out of Portland. And right now, Damian Lillard's value has never been higher. So if you're Portland, I think you draft Scoot Henderson here and trade Damian Lillard. I think that's what's going to happen. I could be wrong because Damian Lillard's contract is going to be very hard to trade, but it's the NBA, okay? Like, anything is possible. We saw fucking Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden all play on the same fucking basketball team. So, like, in the NBA, like, Damian Lillard can come out and say that he wants to play for the Golden State Warriors, and they will find a way to make it happen. Okay, like in the NBA, any player can go anywhere. It's just a matter of getting enough teams involved to actually make the trade happen. So with that being said, yeah, I think Portland drafts Scoot Henderson. I don't think they're going to trade the pick. Even if they try to trade the pick, like there's no player in the NBA they can trade for with that number 3 overall pick and Damian Lillard and Anthony Simons or Shaedon Sharpe or whoever that puts them in a championship winning situation. It just doesn't. Like even if they trade the number 3 overall pick and Anthony Simons and whoever for like Pascal Siakam or Karl Anthony Towns or DeMar DeRozan or somebody like that, it still does not put them in the championship conversation. So with that being said, I think they trade Damian Lillard and they draft Scoot Henderson. Now that we got all that out of the way, number 4, I think the Houston Rockets would love to move up to number 3 or number 2 to draft Scoot Henderson, but I don't think that's going to happen. So with that being said, I think the Houston Rockets take Amen Thompson here at 4. 6'7", kid can pretty much do it all. I think he was the overtime league MVP. Solid player. great player actually. And he's a guy that it's like, yeah, even if you're Houston and you don't end up moving up in the draft, because I don't think they're going to. I just don't think they have the assets to actually do that, unless they're willing to part with, like, even if they're willing to part with Alperen Şengün, they, like, the Hornets have Mark Williams, who played solid rookie minutes last year. So, like, even if they could trade up, I just don't think it's going to happen. So I think they take Amen Thompson. He fits what they're trying to do anyway. So that's where I go with that. Next is the Detroit Pistons. Now, this is a team that really needs help at the 4, and they really need help at the wing positions. And this is a team that I think takes Jarris Walker. I understand Cam Whitmore is ahead of him on ESPN's rankings. I understand Ausar Thompson is still on the board at this point. But they have Cade Cunningham. They have Jaden Ivey. They have Bojan Bogdanovic. They have Marvin Bagley. At center, they have Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart and James Wiseman, who looked very well. So, like, really, it's the wings that they need, and Jarris Walker, I think, is going to be there. So, if they don't take Jarris Walker, I'd be shocked. Jarris Walker, I think, has the ability to be, like, I don't want to say Draymond Green, but, like, close to a Draymond Green, maybe a little better. Like, I think he's going to be a great defensive player. I've seen comparisons to Paul Millsap, like, Hoop Intellect compared him to Paul Millsap. I kind of like that comparison, so I think that would be the ideal fit for Detroit. I think Detroit is a team that would really like help at the 4, and he fits that bill for them. Next is the Orlando Magic. This is going to hurt a lot of Pacers fans' feelings, and I kind of don't care. Like, I'm just taking who I think Orlando's going to take. Mostly because, listen, Jonathan Isaac is an injury-prone guy. He's still under contract for, I think, another 2 or 3 years. And you don't even know if he's going to fucking play, okay? Jonathan Isaac's a very great player when he plays, great defensive player, but he's injured all the time. And with that being said, they love their lanky guys who can do it all, play defense, shoot the 3, get to the basket. Taylor Hendricks, I think, goes to the Orlando Magic here at 6. This is going to shock a lot of people, but Taylor Hendricks is 6'9", and I think he has like a 7'4" wingspan or some shit like that. Like, I heard about that, and I was like, his physicals, his ability, the improvement areas, like, I think Taylor Hendricks is their security blanket for Jonathan Isaac if Jonathan Isaac doesn't come back. And even if it does, like, if Jonathan Isaac does come back and ends up really good, you have a pretty nice set of wings there between Jonathan Isaac and Taylor Hendricks. And they get to play each other in practice. Like, I'm going to be honest, I kind of think Taylor Hendricks goes there at number 6 to Orlando. So with that being said, here at number 7, who are the Indiana Pacers going to take? Now, I know Indiana Pacers fans are going to watch this video and be upset because Jarris Walker's off the board going to Detroit and Taylor Hendricks is off the board going to Orlando. But the thing is, unless we trade up, which I don't think is really going to happen, we're going to get still a decent player. We're going to at least get a scorer in Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore is a guy that I think is going to fall to us. He's 6'7". Yes, there's questions about his defense. I understand the Pacers pride themselves on defensive players. They want defensive players. But Cam Whitmore, I think at this particular point in the draft, is just too good to let him walk. Like, he's a guy that he's 6'7" and can score the shit out of the basketball. And, we might be trading Buddy Hield. I don't know what's going to happen, but my gut feeling tells me we're kind of going to get stuck with Cam Whitmore. Like, that's what's going to happen. I know it sucks to say that because Cam Whitmore is an amazing scorer of the basketball, but, like, I know we want Taylor Hendricks. I know we want Jarris Walker. I just don't think they're going to be there. I just don't. Not unless we trade up, and I really don't know how willing teams are going to be, especially like Orlando and Detroit, to want to trade with us unless we give up a guy like Benedict Mathurin or maybe we give up Buddy Hield. I don't know. But if we want Taylor Hendricks or Jarris Walker, we're going to have to trade up in the draft. I just think that. So we kind of get stuck with Cam Whitmore. Granted, like, being stuck with Cam Whitmore is not a bad thing, but he's not the defensive player we'd like. And we really need help at the 4, which kind of screws us, but I think Cam Whitmore is too. And who knows, maybe you draft Cam Whitmore and then trade with Orlando or somebody. Maybe there's a draft trade here that goes on between the Pacers and Orlando or the Pacers and Detroit. I'm not sure what happens there, but there's maybe some type of trade going to go on there, as well as with number 3 with the Trailblazers. Maybe there's a trade that goes on there too. Who knows? But after that, after the Pacers, at number 8, we have the Washington Wizards, and I think they take Ausar Thompson. Ausar Thompson, 6'7", hell of a playmaker. Great guy getting to the basket. I feel like the Washington Wizards really need that. Like, they really need a guy that's going to attack the basket. He's uber athletic. I think he's a solid defender too, if I'm correct. Yes, there's questions about his shooting, but the fact of the matter is, like, you need a guy who's going to get to the basket, a guy who's going to be a threat to score around the basket, and a guy who's smart enough and has the offensive awareness to pass to Bradley Beal and get guys open. And Ausar Thompson, I think, has the ability to do that. Yes, I understand there's questions about his shooting, but I think that could come with time. So Ausar Thompson's the guy I see going at number 8 to the Washington Wizards. Next at number 9, we have Anthony Black going to the Utah Jazz. I think the fit here is just too good. Anthony Black going to the Utah Jazz. They need a point guard. They have Colin Sexton. Ochai Agbaji is a guy who showed valuable minutes last year for them. Lauri Markkanen was an all-star. And they have, Walker Kessler. Like, I really think adding Anthony Black to what they have could open up guys like Lauri Markkanen, Ochai Agbaji. I just think he's a nice addition to their team. I think he's exactly what the doctor ordered in some ways for them. He's 6'7". He can get to the basket. He can play defense. I think the shooting will eventually develop at some point. So I like it. Anthony Black can shoot the three. Granted, it's not great, but I think he's at 6'7". Like, I would be shocked if the Utah Jazz don't pick Anthony Black. So that's my spiel here with the Utah Jazz. At number 10, I feel like the Dallas Mavericks take Grady Dick. Grady Dick is a guy, 6'7", 200 pounds. They really need shooting. Okay, I'm just going to call it what it is. The Dallas Mavericks desperately need shooting. They desperately need defense. And Grady Dick, I think, provides that. Like, I think, Grady Dick, I think, is a lock to go to Dallas at number 10. If they didn't take him, I would be shocked. At number 11, we have the 2023 first-round pick that Chicago traded to Orlando in the Nikola Vucevic trade. So they're picking here, and one guy that I think the Orlando Magic is going to take here is Jordan Hawkins. They're another team that needs three-point shooting, and Jordan Hawkins is a damn good shooter. He's, I think, arguably the best shooter in the draft, and he's a guy that plays winning basketball. He makes winning basketball plays. Orlando needs that. They'd like to get off Gary Harris's contract. I think Markelle Fultz, is a free agent this offseason. I could be wrong, but I think they would really like to add more three-point shooting to what they currently have. They traded Terrence Ross at the trade deadline, so bringing in Jordan Hawkins is a smart move for them, at least I think. Next on the clock is the Oklahoma City Thunder at the 12th overall pick here. They're going to reach a little bit here, and I think they take Jet Howard at shooting guard here. He's 6'8". He's a guy that can play the wing position. Oklahoma City needs help at the wings position. I mean, they've got SGA, they have Josh Giddey, they have Lou Dort. They really don't need another guard at the moment. Like, Josh Giddey and SGA have that position locked up, okay? Like, they're OKC's playmakers. They have Chet Holmgren coming back at center. He's finally going to play this year. This should be technically his rookie year. And I just think that this is a great fit for them. I think Jet Howard's going to be... on offense, he's got the entire bag. I'm going to call it what it is. Like, on offense, dude's really good. He's 6'8". He can put the ball on the floor. He can shoot. He shoots fades. He does it all. Defense is really where he suffers, and I think OKC can develop that a little bit. So I like it. I like Jet Howard going there at 12. I understand it's a reach, but if any team's going to reach on him, it's going to be OKC. Next on the clock is the Toronto Raptors. They're taking Cason Wallace. I would be shocked if they don't take Cason Wallace. He's 6'3", 185 pounds. But the thing is, I'm pretty positive Toronto's going to lose Fred VanVleet in the offseason, and I'm pretty positive they're going to lose Gary Trent Jr. too. And if that's the case, they're probably going to lose Pascal Siakam. It would be nice to get Cason Wallace in there. I think he's going to be a very, very solid point guard in the NBA. And at least get your replacement for Fred VanVleet. And then your future is basically evolved around either OG Anunoby, I think, is even going to get traded. But at least if you're, and you know what, for all I know, to be honest with you, Toronto might even trade OG Anunoby to the Pacers. So if you're the Pacers and you're losing out on Jarris Walker and Taylor Hendricks, it might not be the end of the world. Because OG Anunoby's been linked to the Pacers all fucking year. But it's just the idea here that like Toronto can get their replacement, and I think it's a very, very nice pick for them right where they're picking. So there's that. The last pick in the lottery here at the 14th pick for the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, they're a team that they have Jose Alvarado, Dyson Daniels, or Alvarado. I said that wrong, but they have Dyson Daniels, who they drafted last year, who was promising but didn't get a lot of crazy minutes. At shooting guard, they have CJ McCollum and Josh Richardson. Really, they would like to get help at the power forward position, but the fact of the matter is Noah Clowney is like the 19th ranked prospect in this draft. They have Zion Williamson, they have Larry Nance Jr., they have Herb Jones, Brandon Ingram. One guy I think they take a shot on, and this might be a little bit shocking. I'm going to be wrong on this pick, I feel, but it's just the idea like Nick Smith is a guy that I think the Pelicans could take a shot on. Nick Smith is a guy that, like, yes, I understand he was injured, but the talent level is undeniable. He's 6'5", he can dunk, he can shoot. Nick Smith Jr. is a guy, I think he even plays a little bit of defense. Like, if the Pelicans can pick up Nick Smith Jr. and just, like, nurture the injury and let him play, like, he's a guy that's going to fall later than he should probably go in the draft because of the injury he suffered at Arkansas. But, he's just a guy that's like, he's going to be there at 14, I think. And like, I understand, like, you could say OKC's going to take Nick Smith Jr., and that's a very real possibility. But like I said, they don't need any more guards. I understand Jet Howard is listed as a shooting guard, but in the NBA, he's going to play small forward / power forward, and that's what OKC needs. And at that point in the draft, I think he's like the best player on the board of that height. So that's pretty much why I did that. But yeah, Nick Smith Jr. going to the New Orleans Pelicans, I'd be shocked if they don't take him, just because the talent level's insane. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. That is the mock draft for me. So Victor Wembanyama going number 1 overall, Brandon Miller number 2, Scoot Henderson number 3, Amen Thompson at number 4, Jarris Walker at number 5, Taylor Hendricks at number 6, Cam Whitmore at number 7, Ausar Thompson at number 8, Anthony Black at number 9, Grady Dick at number 10, Jordan Hawkins at 11, Jet Howard at 12, Cason Wallace at 13, and Nick Smith Jr. at 14. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report, and out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.